Welcome back. This is Monday lunchtime. While it probably shouldn't come as a huge surprise that government's COVID-19 response has been hit by allegations of corruption and malfeasance, the ripple effects and the scale are still shocking. And the consequence is that the brand of South Africa is inevitably going to be negatively impacted. I want to talk now to Happy Nchingila. He is a leading voice in the brand communication space in South Africa and joins us now on Monday lunchtime. Happy, good afternoon to you. I think maybe a good place to start is with a headline to the letter that Cyril Ramaphosa writes every week. And the headline is, "Profiting from a pandemic is like a pack of hyenas circling a wounded prey." When you look at the scale of this COVID-19 corruption, it really is a national shame, isn't it?
It is indeed, and the point that is really disturbing is the seeming rapaciousness with which it's done, which, in my view, can only damage brand South Africa.
So, from a perceptual perspective then, how damaging is it? Is it possible to quantify it perhaps in terms of foreign investment and people saying, well, it's just not worth the trouble?
Well, the problem with it is that it would create concern all the time. You do not want negative news about your own country or about South Africa Inc. And Jeremy, if you recall, we used to be the darling of the World Economic Forum. And at the moment, the narrative that is surrounding us has to be curtailed in order to be able to protect the brand. So we need to see some serious action that's got something to do with consequence management. So, it is a source of concern.
So let's talk in a moment about how we change the narrative. But there's another argument that might say that the world is so used to hearing about corruption in this country that it's simply discounted anyway. No one cares.
Well, I think we should also remember that corruption is probably all over the world. It's how it is communicated and how we deal with it, I guess, as a country in terms of consequence management, like I said. In the middle of this crisis, somebody found a way in which we could get the whole world to dance, which means, we can do some good things, but we need to do the good things that we, for instance, we're doing on the arts side. And together with good things that we can do for the economy and together with good things that we can do in terms of governance and making sure that you do things correctly. And when people do things wrongly, there are consequences that face those people.
All right, so you're the brand expert here. If you were given brand South Africa right now and the president said, Happy Nchingila, fix it, what would your starting point be?
Well, I would look for all the good points, Jeremy. You always start with the good points. And I would also ask the government to work with me to make sure that all the bad points are attended to. So what are the good points? Certainly from a scientific as well as from a medical point of view, we seem to have been doing some good things. There are good stories coming out of VITS. There are good stories coming out of how we tried to deal with this. We also need to balance that with good stories that come from the government, not just paying lip service to good governance, doing something about it when somebody has actually transgressed the law. Do something about it. Let us see it out there. Sound processes and accountability will always lead to people beginning to get that trust back. But if you do not balance that with accountability and not just paying lip service, then you cannot win.
This is a final one for you. This is not just negatively impacting on South Africa's national brand, but also on the brand of President Ramaphosa. How damaging do you think it's been, given that this corruption scandal has found its way through his spokesperson right into his inner sanctum?
Yeah, I guess that is one of the most difficult things for the president, because he has been saying the correct things. Therefore, if there are any investigations that are happening, they better do that quickly. And if something has to be done, they have to act on it very, very quickly, because, as you say, it comes from the office of the president. So people have got to see that something is happening, and it's happening right at the very top.
Right, Happy Nchingila, thank you very much indeed. One of South Africa's foremost thinkers when it comes to brand communication.